And welcome to KidzTown Online. We are so glad that you are here with us today.
Guess what?
What?
I have a joke for you and for the kids.
Right.
Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Okay, what breed of dog can jump higher than a building?
Well, it's going to have to be a tall breed, probably.
Come on. It can be any kind. Buildings can't jump.
Gotcha. Wow. Okay, let's head right into our game to kickstart off this morning with more fun.
Today, we are talking about how God is for us, and we're going to get crafty and make something. We know that God was for Joseph, and one of the earliest things we learn about Joseph was that his father gave him a coat with many different colors.
That's right. So you're going to need to raid your recycling box stash and see if you have a bunch of flyers you can use, and get out some tape or maybe a stapler. And you're going to need to make a coat with a back and a front and with 2 sleeves.
Ooh, that sounds cool. You can pause the video right now, okay? Boys and girls, you can do this. Or you can do it later on today when you're looking for something to do.
That's right. We'd love to see photos of your completed designs. I'd love to see what you come up with. And everyone that you show us is going to give you an entry into our prize draw bucket. Hey, I know.
Oh, what?
Let's make one for Brooke.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Okay, check this out. Get up on your feet because it's time to go and worship together.
Turned into wine. Open the eyes of the blind. There's no one like you. There's none like you. Into the darkness you shine, and out of the ashes we rise. There's no one like you. There's none like
Welcome to the Bible Detective Center of Investigations.
Today we have a fun mystery that we're going to dig into. We are going to look at opposites. We're going to look at why I'm wearing this jersey. And we're going to look into the Bible, which is the source of all our truth for our clues today.
This weekend, we actually had a special guest speaker downstairs because we had a youth retreat here. It was socially distant and safe. No pandemic can stop God's love from being taught. And you know, the theme for this weekend is God is for us.
So our mystery today, we have to dig into that. What does it mean that God is for us? What does it look like? And what do we do about it?
Let's start with looking at the opposite. So what is the opposite of being for something?
Being against it.
Oh, are there any other options, or do you have to be for or against?
That's a great question. So you can be undecided, but you know what? You have to end up deciding at some point. A good way to look at this, have you ever heard the expression being on the fence?
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that.
So when you're on the fence, that means that you're undecided. You don't know if you want to choose this thing or you're going to want to choose this thing. So you're kind of wavering in the middle there.
I think that when you're on the fence, it would be very comfortable, or very uncomfortable, actually. And it would probably take a lot of balance to do that.
Right. And you know what? You're going to have to decide eventually, and it's better that you do it on your own instead of deciding because you fell off and you didn't really have a choice.
That's true.
Like say you're at a restaurant and you can't decide between the pepperoni pizza and the chicken fingers. When the server comes, you're going to have to make up your mind and just decide.
Yeah. You know, some decisions, like what you're going to eat, well, they don't really matter in the long run. But some decisions, they really do matter. You know, what if you see someone being picked on at school and you have to decide if you're going to help by saying something, or if you're going to get a teacher, or if you're not going to help at all? You know, if you stay on the fence and can't really decide what to do, that's really the same thing as choosing not to help.
Yeah, that's right. You can't stay on the fence. Sometimes by not deciding, you are deciding.
Yeah. So when we say God is for us, we're saying that he has decided. He had to choose if he's going to be for us or against us, and he chose to be for us.
That is so exciting. So then what does it look like to be for something?
Oh, I bet you this is why you're wearing your jersey.
It totally
it?
is.
Yeah.
It is. Okay, so last week at our midweek club, we had jersey night, and everybody had to wear either a jersey from a team that they're on or else a jersey like this of a sports team that they cheer for.
You know, I think being on a sports team, that's a great example of how to be for someone. Like for me, I'm not on the sports team, but you know what? My team is the Oilers, and I cheer for them. If I could, I'd go to their games and support them, but I cheer for them. I have their clothing, I have a calendar, and you know, I do all that to show others and them that I like them.
Right. And another way to support your team, when they're down or when they're losing, you encourage them, right? You cheer for them. You would never boo for your own team. And then when they do something good or when they score, you cheer for them and you celebrate them.
You know what?
What?
This past week in KidzTown, in-person KidzTown, we actually had this team and we air high five to celebrate. So it's exactly what you're talking about.
That's awesome.
So if God is for us,
then he's at every game and every test and every time you sit down at the table with your parents at supper time and every time you play with your friends, he's cheering us on with us right there, cheering us on to do our best.
yeah, and he encourages us and he never boos us and he celebrates when we make good choices and when we succeed at things.
Pastor Jory, I'm wearing this to show that I'm for the Pats. What did God wear to show that he was for us?
Oh, I know. He wore human skin. He put on humanness to show that he was and is for us.
Exactly. Isn't that amazing? I feel like we can call this mystery solved right here.
Well, okay, before we do that, let's look in the Bible and see what we can see in there to give us some more clues. So in the Old Testament, we actually find this one in Psalms 118:6. It says this: "The Lord is for me. I will not fear. What can man do to me? we can find comfort in the fact that he is for us.
That's great. So here's one in Romans 8:31. What then shall we say to these things? If God is for us, who is against us?
And the very next verse, verse 32, it talks about what we said about Jesus taking on humanity, dressing like team people.
Awesome.
It says, he who did not spare his own son, but gave him up for all of us, how will he not also with him graciously give us all things?
He really is for us, hey?
Yeah, he
Wow.
really is.
I found another one that was really interesting. This one's in the book of Ezekiel. God is telling Ezekiel to prophesy to the mountains, which sounds kind of strange, but hear me out. He says, for behold, I am for you, and I will turn to you, and you will be cultivated and sown. So this is part of a bigger passage about how God is going to remove his enemies from that land, and he's going to bring his people back. Now, cultivating and sowing means that someone's going to prepare the ground and plant crops. And I like how it shows that when God is for us, you're going to grow and prosper and good things are going to happen.
Yeah, and we can also find other evidence in the Bible of what life looks like when God is for us. We can cast all our cares on him because he cares for us. And we can do all things because he strengthens us and he gives us a spirit of power and a spirit of love and of self-control.
Yep, exactly. Okay, so we get what it looks like when God is for us. But did we discover why?
Well, I think we talked about how we have decided who and what to be for, and I guess he chose it to be us, that he's going to be for us. We know that he loves us and that love is an ongoing action.
Yeah, it is.
So we know that he continues to choose us every day.
That's awesome. So the last part then of our mystery that we need to figure out is what that means for us.
Well, I think we have to actually decide if we're going to be for God.
So it's a two-way street.
Yeah.
And you know what, guys? We can't be on the fence about this. If we are not deciding to choose God, then it's like we're choosing against him.
Yeah.
Are you on the fence about choosing God? Will you choose today to jump off and say, yes, I'm on God's side. I'm going to be on Team God.
Yeah, he is for you guys. He's for all of us. And he loves you. He loves all of us so much that he wants you to be with him. Will you choose to be with him and to be for him?
If you decide this today, you need to tell someone because we want to celebrate with you, okay? Tell your grown-ups so they can celebrate. And then have them send us an email, send us a message so that we can celebrate you too because we are for you as well.
Yeah, and we'd be so excited to hear that you guys chose to be for Jesus. I think, you know what? We've solved the mystery for this week. We can't wait to hear from you.
So one thing we often see at a sports game are things to cheer with. So today we're going to make some pom-poms for our first breakout time.
Okay, so these ones are made from the pages that's in your notes. If you didn't find us through the church page, okay, you can go to reginaapp.com and under Next Gen Family Resources, find the button that says KidzTown. And that's where you'll find the pages for our breakouts.
Right. So this page has a bunch of verses on it that show what life is like when God is for us. Okay? So first, I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to color. You can color too if you want.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Now we're going to roll up this side, so make sure that you color the side where the verses start. Okay? Just to add some color in, because it's, Oh, you should do orange because your favorite team has orange, isn't it?
I know, but this is my favorite color. This is a beautiful color. But this kind of works with my favorite team. But
Yeah.
I'll put a little orange
There we
too.
go. Okay, so when you've colored, there we go.
Okay.
Throw a little color on there. When you've colored, you're going to cut lines into here. So you're going to cut again from the start of the verses,
Okay.
and you're going to go all the way up to about maybe a little finger's width. because you need somewhere to hold on to, okay? So about up to there, so you've got a good spot.
Oh, that's cool.
And then cut between all the verses about to that same spot, okay? So now, that's what it's gonna look like for there.
Okay.
This is the one I made as a sample for you.
Oh.
So once you've got them all cut, I use this to give me a start to wind it around. You can wind it either way because the colors and the verses are gonna show either way you do it. But wind it all up and then tape around it or maybe staple so it stays together.
I need a lot more color on mine.
Yeah, I used the highlighters that were in my desk. I taped it and then stapled it just so the inside didn't come out. But there you go. You've got something to cheer with.
And you know what? That is awesome. And all of that, it's going to help us remember, right, that God is for you. And also that you are for God.
Yeah. Yay, God.
So this is one of our Bible breakouts.
All right. Today we have a fun maze for you. But you might need to pull out your Bibles and open up to the table of contents to get help for this one.
Okay, knowing the books of the Bible, it'll actually help you get through this maze. And getting through this maze will help you learn the order of the books of the Bible.
It's a win-win. All right, so grab your Bible, print off this page with the maze on it, and have fun. All right, friends, before we go, we want to bless you with this reminder. God is for you. He loves you. He cheers you on. He always wants to encourage you, and he always wants to be with you.
You know, our prayer for you is that you would be for God too, and that you would choose him and the best life that he wants to give you.
All right, we'll see you next week.
Bye, boys and girls.
In a